All right, I'm gonna try this again. There was a great big lag of about, I don't know, it must have been 5 minutes or so in the Facebook Live. So I'm gonna give it another shot here and see if I can, if the posts will go up. I do like my lives to be interactive, so if it's a lag by 5 minutes, I don't get to interact with you guys and to share my journey with you and to hear back from you. So I'm gonna give it another shot right now. And if today's just not the day, that's okay. We can love and accept it and we can move on. But I'm gonna go ahead and give this another shot right now. And if you're watching this, I just wanna know that you can hear me, number one. You could say something like, hear you just fine, or you can give me a thumbs up. The live today, the intention of my live is to give you guys the truth about sustaining a running life and your body satisfaction. Because if you're anything like me, you may have started running because you were dissatisfied with your body, or you wanted to find a plan that would finally work for you, or that you had some sort of a target goal, like running 5 miles or 10 miles or a 5K or a marathon, right? And that kind of thinking, when we start setting ourselves up to reach a target goal, can keep us from actually wanting to do it. We can set the bar so high that we're afraid of even taking the first step. So I want to show you today what works instead, and how you can have an effective, sustainable running life rather than a rigid end goal that may cause you to quit over and over again, just like me. And there's nothing, I promise you, nothing that's keeping you from starting other than rigid expectations, rigid schedules, rigid plans, and self-doubt, okay? I'm gonna help you overcome that today. And I can see the Facebook is actually populating now, and it is working. Kim says hi. Yes, it's working. So if you caught my intro in the other live, I told you guys a little bit about my running body as a child, and I'll briefly talk about that a little bit. But what I would like to do, because this is a live that's going to be highly interactive, I want you to tell me in the comments below a little bit about yourself, but specifically what your biggest roadblock to running is. And in the other posts where I started the live before, Brenda said breathing. So feeling like she can't breathe is her biggest roadblock. What are your other roadblocks? I want you guys to go ahead and let me know in the comments what your biggest roadblocks to running are. Hi, Katie. Hey, Erica. What your biggest roadblocks to running used to be, currently are, or what you think they might be, and why you aren't getting started. And as you guys start to tell me a little bit about yourselves so that I can get to know you in the comments about the roadblocks you have to running, I'm going to tell you a little bit about mine. Mine have been time. I felt like I didn't have enough time and I couldn't wake up early enough, and I'm not a morning person. At least that's the story I used to tell myself. Not feeling well for those 5 minutes. You guys know when you wake up and you're like, oh, I don't think I feel good today. And then it's like, 5 minutes later, you've already decided you're not running, and then maybe 15 minutes goes by and you're like, okay, I feel totally fine. When you wake up and you're like, maybe I need extra rest, but actually you're okay. Like, that happens to me all the time. Katie says consistency. Consistency is huge, especially when we set ourselves up for some big expectations instead of trying to just take a step in any direction. Consistency was huge for me too. I felt like I always had to set out to do the thing that I always used to do. So I thought I always had to run 3 miles, or I always had to do 2, or I always had to do it fast, or I always had to do it feeling well. But those kinds of rigid expectations keep us from just showing up. Like, what if we just can be ourselves, right? What if you just show up as yourself, as beautiful as you are, exactly the way that you are? Michelle says the weather. Totally. You wake up, you're like, I think I hear rain. And then you look at your app and you're like, doesn't say it, but I hear it. I think it's raining. I'm not going to go. Okay. I'm not going to go. Right? So some of these things get in our heads, and then we give ourselves permission to not do it. But the truth is that we're setting ourselves up for some sort of perfect situation that maybe doesn't exactly exist. And so let's find the perfection from within to take a step in any direction. A few of the other things that I have had to overcome when I was a kid, I used to be like duck-footed. I'm still a little bit like that, and my daughter Lexi is like completely like that. And when I ran, my legs would kick out to the sides. And for any of you that run with me now, you probably notice a little bit of that, but it made me really self-conscious about myself. right? In gym class, they would say, okay, you're going to do that mile and you have to run 8 laps around the lawn or whatever they used to make you do for like a fitness test. I was so afraid of that because I didn't want to get made fun of. And now I'm a running coach. So, there's a lot of things that can get in our way. Fear of the way we look, fear of how fast we can go, what our pace is going to be, if anybody's going to be out there to support us, feeling unsupported, all of those things. And what I want to share with you is one of the biggest secrets from all of my empowered energetic health programs. And it's what ties all of this stuff together. Whether you work with me on the eating part, the running part, the strength training part, all of these things have one very special thing in common. And nobody has to wait to be successful anymore. You can be a runner today in the body you have today. You can run again if you were running before. You can start for the first time now. Or you can continue your journey exactly the way you are in any day. It's always available to you. I also want to share that at the end of this live, I'm going to unveil some exciting news about how you can have access to all of my energetic programming, and that's coming up soon, for how you think, eat, and live. All of my programming is a holistic approach to anything, which includes all of it, the mind, body, and food connection. So if you're looking for what my clients call the whole enchilada, I want you to stick around because I have exciting news for all of you, even people who've already purchased programming for me. So the first step to success is believing that you're already there. And in my 5K guide, you guys know this, you need to believe, number one, that you're a runner. So right now, if you're gonna stick around and you're gonna learn a little bit more about how to ditch body satisfaction as an end goal, and instead love yourself enough today, I want you to tell me in the comments that you're a runner. I want you to say I'm a runner, and I want you to get me to believe it. I want you to say I'm a runner, god damn it. I want you to say I'm a runner in all caps. I want you to say I'm a runner with exclamation points. And I just want you to like holler it from the rooftops in a text way. So what does that look like? Give me an emoji. I don't know if you guys can do GIFs in the comment section of the live, but that would be good. I want you to tell me that you are a runner. So just type it, love it, live it. Even if you don't believe it today, tell me you're a runner anyway. Michelle says, I'm totally a runner, exclamation point, exclamation point. Now, I see 7 of you watching right now, and even if you're doing this on the replay, I want you to say it because you are welcoming in an idea into your body today, right now, just to be able to have that fullest expression of yourself. So rule 1, say I'm a runner, make yourself believe it, make me believe it. Because guys, it wasn't too long ago that I thought to myself, am I gonna run today? Nah, I can't do it today. And sometimes that still comes up, to be honest. But just because I say that, it doesn't mean that it's not accessible. So the question has to stop being, will I run today? Check yes or check no, right? Or is it, what's in store for me today? What does my running body have in store for me today? It might be some sort of glute and core activation exercises. It might be walking down the street and jogging a little bit. It might be not running at all. Doesn't matter. You're still a runner. What does my body have in store for me today? With joy, right now, my amazing body, what does it have in store for me today? Okay? So when we can take this on and we can be honest with ourselves about what we can actually accomplish, we can start to act with joy. And as an adult, I haven't always done that. As an adult, I used to run races for weight loss only. I'd sign up for marathons so I could find a training plan that would whip me into shape, a training plan that was no fail. Come on, 26 miles? Really? In fact, I'd like to know percentage-wise, somebody can look this up, how many people actually follow through with a marathon plan. Because it's really tough, and I didn't stick to it. It made me feel like a failure. And when I didn't get out for that week and I continued on the training plan, I broke my body over and over and over again. But I thought, if I can just be a marathoner, I can lose weight, have the body of my dreams, meet a goal, and finally be happy. And so those kind of target goals, we're waiting for the joy to happen at the end of it, and then we quit in the middle. What happens? Oh, I hate myself. I'm a failure. I can't do this. I'm incapable of running a marathon. Therefore, I'm never going to have the fitness, the body, the health that I dream of. We put all of our eggs into this basket hoping that it's going to be the thing that fixes everything. But what happens, guys, is the opposite. We feel broken because not only did I follow rigid training schedules without cross-training, it was just like, give me a marathon plan. I also skipped days and weeks because there was a whole other part of myself that was unbalanced. An entire part of my mind and body that was going neglected because all I wanted to do was try to run this thing. At the time when I was doing marathon training, I had disordered eating, I was binging, I was over consuming alcohol, and I wasn't okay. I wasn't okay at all. And I thought that I could use running and doing a marathon as punishment for the way that I was living, expecting that I could offset the damage that I was creating in my life overall by not taking care of myself with a calorie burn. It's true. I would track it. I would track how many steps, how many calories, how much did I burn so that I can continue to treat myself in a way that wasn't energetically nourishing and not okay. I was so wrong about that. There is nothing that you can count to burn away from your body and nothing you can count to put in your body in order to get up here okay. And that's why I'm going to give you the big secret about how to correct that. Because it's not about the calorie burn, it's not about the miles, it's not whether or not you can do it, it's about the way you're treating yourself over and over and over again. So a few years later, after all of that kind of stuff and having 2 kids and kind of feeling a little bit better, I did have my second child and I was like, oh, I'm going to get right back into running. I had to go to PT because I was so hyper-focused on trying to run that 3 miles again right away without respect to what my body needed. I just wanted to get back in shape. And when I set out on a 3-mile run around Prospect Park in Brooklyn, it killed my hips and my knees. And I had to actually go to physical therapy and weeks and weeks and weeks, if not months, of correcting all of the damage that I'd done to my body. So if you're anything like me, and if you can see from the things that I've shared with you, I focused on a training plan by distance, pace, and weight loss. And all of those times for 15 years, I failed. It's a learning experience now. I don't see it as failure. I see it as learning. But back then, I thought I was a failure. So if any of these things have happened to you, if any of this sounds familiar, you gave up on yourself or you broke yourself because you just wanted to lose weight or achieve a goal that felt unachievable to like build yourself up a little bit, let me know. Tell me I'm not alone in this. Tell me I'm not alone in setting target goals and then not reaching them and feeling like a failure. I know that this is a thing and this is a problem, and we don't have to live like that. It doesn't have to feel like a failure anymore. It can always feel like it's coming from a place of curiosity and joy. And so what I've done now is make it my job. Okay, Katie says I'm a motherfucking runner. You don't have to apologize for profanity. Let's do it. Kim said she's a runner. Erica says I always feel I need to run faster and slow is lame. Slow makes me feel like a failure, Erica. Slow is boss mode. That's where curiosity comes in. You know when I broke myself the most is when I went too fast when my body wasn't ready for it. We don't have to do that to ourselves. Slow is not failure. Slow is energy. We are creating something. And I invite all of you to slow the F down and to just enjoy yourself and to enjoy the run for sustainability for yourself and for your joy. And so I've made it my job to stop using target goals and dissatisfaction as a way to act and instead step into your power, say I'm a motherfucking runner, and to choose day in and day out what's available to you in your unique body. Affirmation 1, my body is unique and I'm going to act in accordance with what I need. Because when you're not trying to be some sort of pro athlete and you're sick of sitting in the uncomfortable place of guilt and shame of not starting because you expect more of yourself, it's time to just expect yourself, not more of yourself. Just expect yourself. Isn't that a relief? I just expect me, just me to show up. Today I run for me. I'm going to just show up as me, not as something I'm expecting to be, right? That's what we have, and that person is in there, and that person is a runner inside of you right now today. I promise. I promise you. Erica says she loves that. Slow is energy. It is. All of it's energy. It doesn't matter. You can describe it as slow or fast moving, but it doesn't matter. It's still generating something inside of you. Michelle said, you just made me realize why I refused to adopt a fitness plan before, because it was only to compensate for or cancel out other bad choices I was making. Exactly. Fitness and being well and making those choices doesn't have to be a punishment. When it is, why would you want to keep doing that? Why would you want to keep punishing yourself over and over and over again? And no matter what anyone has told you about their experience, you are uniquely human. You're not built the same way as anybody else. So I want you to show up today and every day just as you, not as anybody else. And it doesn't matter what happened the night before or the day of or what you think is going to happen later. You are still you in this body taking action in some way. Okay? And despite the uniqueness, excuse me, allergies. Despite the uniqueness, there is a common thing that happens with women that I work with. And that includes you guys. Because you've likely tried out heading out and just going for a run, like randomly, right? And you're like, oh, I'm just going to go. Here's the problem. There's little to no guidance as to what it's even supposed to feel like in our bodies. Oh, go for a run, 2 miles. Okay, you set out. It's broken. It doesn't feel good. The breathing is hard. The weather is bad. You feel like a failure. You don't make it to 2 miles and it's not fast enough. What happens? We quit. The panic sets in. It reinforces our body's signals. And then the brain is all like, you can't do this. You're not a runner. Just stop. And it feeds itself over and over and over again. And so you stop and you stop showing up. And you've created this really unpleasant experience in your body. But there's one thing that you do have control over, and it's not the way your body feels. It's not the signals that your body's sending to your brain. It's the thoughts that you have. It's the thoughts that you have about yourself. I've actually done this to the point of hyperventilating. I have. I've been out for a run, and not in my recent years of doing mindset work and being and trying to, drop into my body and just be curious about it. Talking about when I was feeling like a failure and I couldn't do what I set out to do, I would literally start hyperventilating in the middle of a run, like, and then all of those things start feeding in. You're a failure. You can't do this. You're a piece of shit. I mean, like really, really scary, dark stuff has come in before. Really scary stuff. So if you've ever told yourself that you're not good enough or that you can't do it and you fed that over and over again and you feel brave right now, tell me in the comments below, because it's dealing with some crazy stuff inside this head, right? And we have an opportunity to choose differently, to not go into the point of exhaustion or hyperventilating and not feeding failure with our thoughts over and over again. Of course I stopped running. Most of us have been taught that we get results, the end goal, by following a rigid plan to achieve X, the marathon, the weight loss, whatever it is. But as I mentioned in the beginning, when we follow these plans to reach an end goal, if we feel like we aren't doing it just right, the panic, the pain, all of that starts setting in. We quit and we say it's not for us. But here's something to think about. If you just stop focusing on the end result or what might end up happening, the pace, the 5K, the steps, the calorie burn, how you're going to feel about it. What if deciding that just going out and doing anything was just a part of living your best life, and that just worked instead? You'd go through a run wondering how you can make the experience one that isn't reaching for an impossible standard, but one that helps you show up to be yourself. I'm running to be myself. That's it. So imagine you'd show up just to run, walk, or walk, run because it's just what you do in the body you have today. That's it. All these plans are just frameworks. You get to show up as you. Katie says, I've been feeding myself in my mind big time lately. Yeah, so this is the live for you. Because I'm going to give you guys the 5 biggest mindset shifts for runners and for me that helped me rewire that when that negative Nancy, she's called Kelly, comes into my head. She's here and she's present. But we got to kick her out the door. Annie says, I get this. You're not the only one. Thank you, Annie. And Kim says, I've been there too. I set unreasonable expectations for myself. Yeah. And they lead to physical manifestations of depression, anxiety, hyperventilation, thinking something's wrong with you. Well, now something's wrong with me. And now I have to fix a thing that's wrong with me. And spiral, spiral, spiral. Stop. You're a runner in your unique body. You get to do that. You get to do that. You get to do that. How exciting is that? You get to do that. You get to make that choice today for you. So I want you guys to be able to go because you feel like it, not because you have to. Can I get a hell yes? Okay. Michelle's telling Kelly to go home. That's not how I would have spelled it, but that works. I like that. That sort of like separates it from being real. So I want you guys to really see the difference here, that if we can just access what we can do today, we can sustain that for a lifetime. It's like presence, right? Being present with myself. And all anyone wants is a proven plan. I've got all this experience and I want to help you the way that I've helped hundreds of women using my empowered, energetic running, strength, and eating programs. And they all, as I told you in the beginning, have this common thing, this common thread that I'm sharing with you that I specifically want you to focus on today. The number one critical step to becoming a runner is to bring an awareness to how it influences your life overall and helps you be you using mindset strategies. This is the whole person approach to running. We have so much to learn about in our bodies as long as we're willing to listen. So we're just listening. We're listening for what's possible today. It requires us to stop looking to run 2, 3, 10, or 26 miles under a certain time. It stops us from waiting to weigh a certain amount in order to go. It stops us from needing to go a certain pace in order to become a runner. We're going to change the thoughts we have about ourselves today and about what we're going to do. So these top 5 mindset shifts are from my affirmations guide. The affirmations can be found in the Facebook group under guides. It's a journal where you can write. And it's what I use to guide anyone who signs up for the 12-week Couch to 5K Energetic Way program. These affirmations are available to you, and we talk about them every week, and we dive into them in order to break through resistance in our bodies and our minds about running. So as much as I am a running coach, and I do also give you guys the instructional videos on form and stretching and the importance of all of that, which is also important, equally as important is breaking through the resistance and having access to the stories we tell ourselves in order to be able to show up and to feel really good about ourselves. Because you're not going to go out the door, you're not going to stretch, you're not going to do core activation exercises unless you have these beliefs inside of you. So let's start here. And I want you, as you're listening to them, tell us if it's the mindset shift you need. If you hear something that resonates, say, yeah, I need that. Tell us that you need it. Because these are all things that I know, these are the top 5. And again, I give you guys 12 in all of my programs. I work with these. But these are the top 5 for running specifically that I want to share with you today. Katie says, hell yes, this live is totally for you. Yes, it is, girl. I got you. All right, so number 1, there is a unique plan for my body. So say that to yourself. There's a unique plan for me. There is a unique plan for me. It doesn't matter what's going on with you. It's unique to you, and your experience is special. And you get to have that experience and have the running in harmony alongside of it. Not yes or no, whether or not am I going to run today is contingent on whether or not it was good or bad or whatever it is. You just get to live in harmony with that and know that there's a unique plan. That's it. And maybe running has something to offer you in order to drop into your uniqueness and to know exactly what it is that you need. Using a plain old Couch to 5K app, we walk and jog in intervals that slowly get you to jog more and walk less. The problem of doing it only this way without respect to your unique body is that you think you're supposed to actually run a 5K without walking ever by the end of it. And the thing is that within that framework, there is actually a plan for you. And so what I invite you guys to do instead is use the intervals in a Couch to 5K app to find what works for you. And honestly, even though sometimes I'm like, I'm heading out for 2 to 3 miles, I don't run it straight through all the time. Some days I feel my best, right? And some days I don't. And I stop and I take breaks and I will walk. It's also contingent on what the people that I'm running with is about. So the energy that I'm generating is not only specific to me. It's also to the people that are around me. And that's okay. Sometimes I want to stop for coffee. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I want to walk. Sometimes I want to run. And you know what? Because it's unique to me, I get to ask for that. I get to say, this is what I want to do. And you get to ask for that too. And so imagine with all that asking that you can just have what you need for your unique body, and it's possible that somebody else needs the same thing. So you guys can use the Facebook group for that. Hey, anybody heading out for a week 4, I could really use these intervals, right? Because it means that if you get up to an 8 jog, 3 walk, and your body's loving it, but then you go to 10s and 2s, it doesn't feel good, you don't have to progress further. You can keep doing 8s and 3s. Of course you can, and you get to ask for that, or just treat yourself that way because that's your unique plan. What a relief, right? When I find what works for me today in this moment, I stick with that. And I want to let you know you don't have to run a 5K the whole time to be a runner. It's reckless if you're in pain, emotionally or physically. You're still a runner if you do a 5K with intervals the whole time. You're still a runner if you do a mile. You're still a runner if you do half a mile. Doesn't matter. You guys said it in the beginning, you're a runner today. Annie says your needs matter. Yeah, my needs matter. All of us need to be saying that, especially women. My needs matter. They do. And I can powerfully communicate my needs in order to feel my best. That's okay too. So if this is something that you need today, tell me. I need to honor my unique body. Tell us in the comments that you're going to do that. There's a unique plan for me. Tell us in the comments if that's what you need to hear today. There is a unique plan for me. Because there is. Not just a unique plan that starts now and progresses, but every day and every moment, every day I wake up, right? And be open to that. Second mindset that's really important for runners, I respect the rhythm of my body. So say you're out running and your body wants to stop and stretch, or it wants to walk, but you're not done with that interval. What should you do? You should stop, you should stretch, you should walk. Your running body's waiting for you when you're ready, as soon as you're ready for it. But your rhythm is going to tell you what's going on. And we stay open and curious so that we're not like, I'm a failure and I'm stopping now. But perhaps if I walk a little bit or if I take care of my body needs, I'll be able to continue. And so with love and affection for yourself and what you're doing, you can say, I respect the rhythm of my body. And today that rhythm is telling me to walk right now. You can always walk the second half, or you can try again the next week, or you can try it again later that day. A step in any direction for any length of time is a step. You're just moving the energy around. So respecting the rhythm of your body. The other important thing about that is that if you feel stuck and your body isn't open or willing to start running, then maybe there's something else that's disrupting the rhythm of your body that is really important to address. It could be a relationship, it could be something that you're consistently eating, it could be some sort of behavioral thing or lack of sleep, right? If we can get really honest and deep down within our core about what's disrupting that rhythm that's causing us to say, you know what, I can't go out today, and we can bring awareness to that, we're making huge, massive shifts. And if that's something you need help with, go ahead and book a coaching call with me, because that's how I help people get unstuck. It's not, there's no shame in that. It happens all the time. Happens to me, happens to my clients, and the quicker we can try to get ourselves out of that pattern, the quicker we can get on board. So just know that there is, that respecting your biorhythm and the rhythm of your body is going to be key for sustaining running. Mindset number 3, I'm powerful and flexible. We're actually working on that this week in our strength training in our 5K. Because if you're anything like me, this is my number one thing, is the all or nothing mentality. You start an exercise program and then you stop because you feel like it's too hard. And as you increase the amount that you're running, you might begin to say, oh crap, this is a long one. I don't want to do it today. I'm scared. And adopting the power and flexibility mindset reminds you to step through the fear, to lift your chest high and quiet down the doubt. Power comes from being flexible with yourself, not from the all or nothing thinking. Power isn't yes or no, I do and I don't. It's not what you're achieving. Power comes from being flexible enough with yourself to be able to take the next step. Power comes from sustaining it, from longevity, not from what's happening in that moment. And I used to be that all or nothing person. It came with a lot of guilt, a lot of shame, and a lot of hiding. I hid a lot. Sustainable action comes from willing to do something and then celebrating that over and over and over again. Whatever it is, something. Being flexible. I got out for 2 minutes today, now 4 minutes. Oh, I'm coming out of everything now. So be powerful with your flexibility. I'm powerful and flexible, not just powerful. That's that high bar, right? Oh, I'm powerful. I have to be powerful and I have to finish this thing. That's where we find failure in there. That's when we get on ourselves. I'm powerful and flexible. The fourth one, I'm the creator of my healthy habits. Take your power back, guys. Life is not happening to you. It's happening because of you. When you rely solely on a program to finish it, you're limiting your potential of that program. Adopt things in your life that you are creating. Someone didn't create a program for you to follow in order to get the results you want. You found something to make something of yourself. So step into creation. Be the creator. A 5K program doesn't have to mean that it ends after 9 weeks or you reach your target goal. Use it, and this is what I teach you guys to do, use this as a way to live your life. We have to strive for creation, not completion. The journey's never over. It's not. It's always going to be here. And we can take the struggle out by taking consistent action. And for anyone who's worked with me, you know that I'm setting you up for the tools for an energetic life, not an end goal. And those tools are always available to you. So use them to create something. No longer are things happening to us. They're happening as a result of what we are willing to do. So let's flip the switch and say things are happening because of me. And if I'm the one deciding, I'm going to take my power back. I'm deciding and own it. I'm deciding to rest today. I'm deciding to go today. I'm deciding to eat this, to not eat this, to go out for my run, to not go out for my... Decide, but don't let it be a result of something happening to you. It's your choice. And then, most importantly, recognize all the great things that happen to you as a result of your action. Any moment, anything, even when things feel hard, what's going well? What's going well? What's going well? Ask yourself, what's going well about this? When you're out on your run and you're feeling tired, depleted, you feel scared, worried, your breath starts getting shallow, what's going well right now? Holy crap, I'm outside. I'm doing this. I'm surprising myself. Okay, last mindset. I know the right action in any given moment. Adopting the right action mindset, saying this to yourself first thing in the morning or anytime you feel stuck or you don't want to do something, helps you dig into the truth. Because even if I don't want to do something, what is the right action? It might be just to put your shoes on. So the right action any given moment is literally moment to moment. Okay, so the next logical thing for me to do is to get out of bed. Okay, now I'm going to put my clothes on. Now I'm going to put my shoes on. The right action in any given moment keeps us from thinking I have to go run 3 miles. How often have you woken up, you're like, I don't feel like running 3 miles today, so I'm not going to go out. So don't. That's not the next right action. The next right action is just rolling over and putting your feet on the floor. And then maybe it's getting a glass of water. And then maybe it's putting your shoes on. And you know what? It might be that you decide to stretch that day, but all of those are right actions, right? Taking an action step and asking yourself, what is the right action right now? What is it? Right now, this moment, one small step. It might be when you're about, this happened to me today. It might be when I opened my pantry and I was about to grab a protein bar, when I actually had washed greens, a hard-boiled egg, and some pesto in my refrigerator, and I threw that in a bowl and I ate that instead. There was a moment where I had a decision to make. Is a protein bar fine? Sure, it's fine, but I hadn't had any vegetables yet because I had yogurt and granola for breakfast. I had a decision to make. Am I teaching myself that I just get what's quick and convenient and that I don't care to look for something else? Or is the right action, wait a second, I have this other thing waiting for me, I'm going to have that instead? I created a new pathway, an opportunity in my brain to know and to build my confidence that I know the right action in this moment. Maybe that won't happen to me again later, but I did it today already. So know the right action any given moment. I'm a huge fan of small steps with maximum impact in a progression of joy rather than massive shifts that don't even feel right in your body. Okay, so make them small, but make them often. So let me know in the comments if taking a right action step is something that resonates with you. Annie says the step in any direction for any length of time is still a step. Yes, exactly. Fire. So I know it's more complicated than just meeting yourself where you are. There's the stuff that's going on in your head, the different ways we nourish our bodies, and the lifestyle choices we make that get in our way. And so I just want you guys to know that that's my job, is to help and to offer you another way of being that's going to help you settle into your life, your body, the way you nourish yourself, and the thoughts you have about yourself in order to be able to overcome that. And if you've ever completed my Couch to 5K program, you know that our coaching calls are more than how to run, as I said before. It's about breaking down resistance. So we do still have space in there. You'd be coming in halfway. I would love to have you to be able to install some of these affirmations and joyful ways of being alongside other women who come together Monday mornings at 6 a.m. Another way of resetting your biorhythm, just show up, sleepy with a cup of coffee, it's fine, and then you get to run later that day. And of course, we have our accountability posts in the group. But the other part of the work that I do, the energetic eating method, which is the whole enchilada, includes all of the parts. It includes the 5K, it includes strength training ideas, but it also includes the mindset work and the lifestyle choices that are necessary for us to live our best lives overall. And so I want you to have that at your fingertips, so you don't have to wonder what the top things to do in your life are to improve that. I want everybody to have all of the magic that my clients have had, and to be able to take yourself through your own journey. And so what I'm about to offer is brand new and really exciting. Is an opportunity to actually subscribe to what's called the members content area, which is the platform that I've built that has the videos, the audio, the 5K program, and all the strength training videos in a particular order that help you build your life in this way. So if you're interested in exploring that, I would love for you to book a call with me. If you've purchased the 5K program, you get a discount because that's already enmeshed within it. And the way that I can offer that to anybody who's interested in subscribing to that platform is to go ahead and book a coaching call with me. And this is also an offer for anybody who's done booked an empowerment call with me. It's a 45-minute call where we get down to the things that are going on with you and to see if the program is really a good fit. Once you book the call, we'll get to know whether the subscription platform option is best for you, the full coaching program is best, or a combination of coaching and one-on-one is best for you. So, it's my absolute pleasure, honor, and joy to be able to offer all of this in a variety of different ways that is accessible to people, both financially and also in our busy lives, and being able to give you guys access as a subscription platform and into the private Facebook group that's also associated with that, which is separate from this one. It's where all the questions and the support goes for the energetic eating method and the whole enchilada go into that. So if you're curious about it, definitely book the call and we'll talk about whether a subscription to the members area, the full coaching program, or sticking with just these pieces, strength or 5K, is right for you. So go ahead and book the call if that sounds good. And it's my pleasure to be able to talk with you about which one of those options would work in your unique and busy life. So it's been awesome having you guys on here today. I really appreciate you coming in and checking out what you need to do to set the the idea of end goals and body satisfaction aside, and just invite running as a joyful experience into your unique body today as the most important thing. If you have any questions, you can leave them down in the comments, and I'll just go ahead and wait for you guys to drop off the live. You can give me a wave or say goodbye or ask any questions. So I'll hang out here for a moment and see if you have any questions about the program, the subscription, which I'm calling the Access Pass to my members content area and the other private Facebook group, or to the running program, or any of those things. I'm here to answer those questions. And if you're doing this on the replay and you ask a question in the comments, I'll definitely either reach out to you via PM or directly in the live comments. I'm a little stopped up today, sorry. I need oregano oil. Yes. You're welcome, Katie. Good to see you today. Nice to see you guys. Sounds incredible. Muscles. Thanks, Annie. Michelle says, thank you. You're welcome. Thank you guys for joining. I'm glad we got to do this, despite the Facebook mishaps at the beginning. See who else is on here. No more questions. All right, I see you guys dropping off. So I'm going to go ahead and drop off too. My dad's visiting, which is exciting. I was actually going to invite him in here as a special guest. So, and ask him about how he got me running. But he declined. He didn't want to be in the Facebook Live. He decided that that wasn't for him. But I bet I could get him in here. I can hear him in the backyard. All right, I'm going to go spend that time with him. Great to see you guys. See you next time.